Some of my first pictures I did when I started printmaking was based and inspired by Viking ships. So of course, I'm not sure if people see that that is inspired of a Viking ship, but it's kind of the front of it, and I call it emerging. The other one that's more obvious is this one, and I have a few others that is just built on that, and some more realistic, some more abstract, and I think that is very much how my art is. It kind of tells a story, but it's not totally realistic. I'm very interested in journeys, so my journey obviously started in Norway, but also when it comes to being a printmaker, I always been kind of an artist, but in Norway education is a huge part of who you are. So in Norway I maybe still just call myself a hobby artist, but here I have been allowed to actually use it as much bigger part of who I am, also in the professional work. I have been doing painting. I kind of started with watercolor painting just because I had a one-room apartment and didn't want to sleep in fumes from oils. And through my life, the medias I have started to do has kind of been a little bit like that. It's been practical to do them, and I started to get interested in them. For example, I'm also an instructor, so I have had people, can you teach this? And I thought, maybe I should try. And of course I had to learn the technique. And sometimes I really love it, so that will be part of my journey for who I am as an artist. But I also done other things on my journey. I've done some, lately I started to do some painting. I have done some jewelry making, some wire sculptures that I really love. But still I got stuck with the printmaking part, partly because I'm very much a social being. I love the group, love that we're getting together and do something together. And I think printmaking will always be a part of who I am. One of the other things I mentioned, that I am very much kind of, I want my art to come from my inside. It's just who I am, because my thoughts, my emotions kind of comes out there. So this is one I have called Through Space and Time. Some people look at it as a spiritual thing. Sometimes people look at it and think, oh, it's a comet. Whatever you see in it is good to me. But that was just something that kind of came out of my inner thoughts, and it's done in a technique that's called dry point. So the black is just scraped into the plate, the lines is just scraped into the plate. So one of the prints that, I have a couple of prints that gave me tendonitis, and I think this is one of them. And the colored is made with something we call chincolay, and it really simply, it's really just taking a piece of rice paper, paint it with watered down acrylic paint, and then in the process of printing, you actually get that piece of rice paper glued to the main paper, and the ink will come on top of it. So that's also one of my earlier prints. And then of course COVID hit, and this is monoprints done with watercolors. And this is a lino print painted with watercolors. So as you see, again, part of my history shows through, because I'm using watercolors, because that was kind of where I started. It was a time I was really emotionally tired, and I had to be in the studio because I was in charge of an open print, but I didn't feel like, you know, going through trying to figure out what I was going to make and stuff. So I just took some plates and some feathers, and I had fun. So this is actually just making, putting black on a plate. First I put feathers, some yarn, put it through the press. So we actually masked the plate. So these were white after the first time through the plate. Then I took blue, red, and yellow paint, watered it down, well, not water it down, oiled it down with plate oil, and took the same plate, had cleaned it up so it's no black on it, put the paints on it, rolled it up beside each other, printed it on top of the black, so what before was white got color. And that ended up being something I did for quite a while, just playing around with feathers and having fun, because emotionally I just couldn't go through all the steps and the work, and it was very therapeutic for me. Whatever place I've been in my life, artist has made a lot, if I need it as therapy, or if I need to earn money, or if I just want to have fun. It's definitely been very much a part of who I am. I just want to show one more print, because it shows how I kind of took my history of being a Viking, if you can call it that, and this is one I did, that's a later one I have done that is for me Viking ships, but I called it DNA, because it's very much who I am. I have other pieces with Viking ship that has put some very personal touch on that I actually call my self-portrait, because I think self-portrait is very much more than the face, and yeah, so that's pretty much who I am as an artist.